everybody. I warned you, I am not technologically savvy, and true to form, I forgot to hit record during the first half of our call today. So, I'm going to do the introduction right now, and then I will attach the second half of our call today, and next time you'll just have to be live, and I'll remember to record it. First of all, I want to say hi and thank everyone who was live on our call today. I want to thank you who are watching the replay. Welcome to Soul Centered Navigation Talks. These are live talks that get us through when shit goes sideways. So, I don't know, maybe you're following me on Facebook. I'm Janine Tripodi, CHT, perhaps Instagram, Janine Tripodi. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Janine Tripodi. I'm an Arizona-based, Boston-born speaker, author, and intuitive energetic healer. I'm passionate about teaching women to ditch external expectations and pressures and to live a more fulfilled life by tapping into their inner wisdom, trusting their connection with the universe, and learning to find the joy within the chaos. My book, When Shit Goes Sideways, is my manifesto for soul-centered navigation for life, and it shares some stories of how I have chosen joy in the midst of chaos, and it's available on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, and soon to be Audible. So we are all in the midst of this chaotic time right now, right? COVID-19. In a matter of weeks, our seemingly normal and scheduled lives were turned upside down, and in a way I think most of us never really imagined could happen. I wanted to help people find some footing during this time, and one of the ways I hope to do that are through these newly launched Monday night calls, soul-centered navigation calls. So before we begin, I want to remind you that there's some spicy language in this call, so put some headphones on if you've got kids at home. So today was our first call. I am so excited to announce my very first guest was Shannon Gomez of Rebel Deck. Shannon is a licensed acupuncturist, an herbalist, an intuitive, and the creator of Rebel Deck. She has this funny and in-your-face oracle deck that has a best-selling deck and is available on the Yoga Journal, the Elephant Journal, and Phoenix Magazine. Her mission with Rebel Deck is to create spiritual and self-help tools that are real and relatable. So I thank Shannon for being here. It was a fabulous call. Shannon and I met a few years ago at a Tony Robbins event through a mutual friend, and we hit it off right away. I knew I loved Shannon the moment she pulled out her Rebel Deck, actually the moment she said hello, but she pulled out her Rebel Deck cards, and we pulled a card. Mine was, get the fuck out of your head, get into your heart, it misses you. That was the moment I knew we'd be friends. It was perfect, it was resonant, it made sense. And this deck's really, it's a great tool. So at this point, I will connect the second half of our Zoom call. And again, thanks for coming. I hope that next week you join us live, and I will for sure hit record. Take care. So I just went to try and pull the Zoom video into this recording so that I could piecemeal this freaking call together. And I had pressed record, and then as I was trying to figure out why it wasn't recording, I actually hit stop. God, I've never felt more 48 in my life. So anyway, be prepared. This is me. Welcome. Now, can you say hi?
Hi there.
Hi there.
Yeah, I still can't hear. Interesting. Huh. How about now?
Hi there.
Hi there.
I can hear you all now. Do you want to hear something funny? I have to stop the recording because it's so embarrassing.
From what's going on, or they don't feel like with other people suffering that they're allowed to enjoy other things in their life. And that's really not the case, because laughter is part of our tools. And if we aren't good inside, then how are we going to be compassionate? How are we going to be empathetic to other people that need us if we are constantly just bringing ourselves down? So I think that we must be, if this group, I'm sure we're all empaths here, and we're picking up on everyone's fears and things like that. So in order to combat that fear, we need to do something the exact opposite, and that would be laughter.
Nice. Shannon, I want to ask you to pull one more card because, as I explained before, I'm technologically wicked savvy and I just started the recording. So unfortunately, you're going to
It's
have
all
to do
right.
a
It's all
series
good. Let's just speed it up. Okay, everything great. Acupuncture laugh. Is there? That's cool. Okay, yeah, we just kind of fast forwarded through everything.
Awesome.
So you want me to pull another card for the collective, or?
How about, does anyone using the chat, why doesn't, if anyone has any questions, you can use the chat to ask them. If anyone wants to have a card pulled specifically for them by Shannon right now, this is an awesome chance to do that. Okay, Sarah's raising her hand. Kelly raises her hand. Anyone else?
So.
Okay, let's start with them. Ginny,
Sarah, what does life want you to know right now? So take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, and then move on. So this card is encouraging you to take a baby step. Sometimes we just go all in because we think, yeah, that's what we got to do. If we're not all in, then we're out. And what this card is talking about, it's talking about just try a little bit of it. Don't overdo whatever you want to try, because it's just could be too much, or maybe you just need a little bit of a step and then you reevaluate. So take a step and reevaluate. It's also talks about don't overindulge. Don't, if you feel like, having some junk food, then have a little bit of junk food. Don't completely like go the day with a shit ton of food and then you feel bad. So this is basically, it's a good card for moderation, but also it's a push to move forward, but just a little bit.
Love it. Awesome.
Okay, Kelly? All right. So, Kelly, what does life want you to know right now? So this one is fuck fear. It will lie to your face. So
such a good one.
Since you're laughing right now, what is hitting you with this card?
Fear is what holds me back in all kinds of aspects. Janine's been working on me with that for about a year now.
You're doing great.
So yeah, fear is a major theme in my life.
So what I would ask you when it comes to fear is not to try to ignore it, is to do things in spite of it. To realize that it is lying to you. And you'll know the difference between like an intuitive hit, don't walk down this road or whatever. That's different. That's not the ego talking to you that wants to hold you back so that you don't have to experience loss, that you don't have to experience pain or humiliation or vulnerability. That's the type of fear that this card is talking about, and that it's lying to you about that. So, a nice technique is to say, hey, fear, yep, I hear you, but I'm going to keep going anyway. Thanks for everything you have to say. I appreciate you because I know that you are trying to protect me. I get it. I don't need protecting in that way, so I'm going to put you, to the side, and I'm going to continue to move forward. If there's anything that I need to really know, work through my intuition and let me know that way.
I'll combine mine with Sarah's, and we've got good instruction.
Yeah. Have you ever read Big Magic?
I don't think so.
It's by Sarah Gilbert? She wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which I never read that book. But the Big Magic is it's such a great book whenever you're dealing with fear when it comes to creativity or taking chances. And it just kind of normalizes fear and is like, you're really not going to quiet it. You can minimize it, but if we wait for it to go away, that's just not happening.
Got it.
So anyone else would like a card?
I have one.
Okay. So is it Ginny?
Yes.
Am I saying it right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Ginny. What does life want you to know right now?
I'm just moving out to a different location because my husband was in the same room and he was distracting me. So,
Gosh, those husbands. Sarah Gilbert, yes. Okay. So this is an interesting card. So you see how it has this little lightning bolt?
Yes.
And on the back, it says, figure shit out on your own.
Oh, interesting.
Really, you know, it is interesting, especially from an oracle deck. And this was how Spirit was having fun with me whenever I was creating it. Because a lot of times it's like, you have the answer. Why are you even consulting something outside of yourself? So what this card would be is to focus on trusting yourself and realizing that you don't need, it's nice to have, but you do not need other people's input, or you don't need other energies to influence what you know to be true. And so this is during this time that we're at home, and maybe you have, you know, time to actually really think about things, to realize that you do have the power to figure things out. You don't need to rely on other people. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, totally, because I'm always, whenever I need to make a decision, I always second guess myself and always go asking when I know actually I know what I need to do. So it's something that I do. Yeah.
Something to help with that is to maybe keep like a truth journal. And so, you know, these types of suggestions are to work with the tendencies we already have, right? So if you have a tendency to already know something, but then you really need outside input just to kind of cover your bases, so to speak. So write down what you know to be true, and then go ask people, and then come back to what you know to be true. Just because you can figure things out on your own, it doesn't mean that we are, you know, that we have blinders on. However, it means that we work with the information people give to us, but we always come back to that internal gut feeling that we know the best, you know, step to take. Like, for example, my husband is an attorney and he fucking loves to give advice. And so with some of this direction with my business, you know, I was getting pushed to list my stuff on Amazon. And he's like, no, that's not a good choice. You don't want to do that. And I knew that I was going to want to be on Amazon. And I listened to him and I was open, but I went back to how I felt and I did the shit anyway. So, you know, work on having both, but always prioritize your gut feeling first and trust it.
Okay. Yes. That's the hardest thing.
It is, but then you can kind of go back to even Sarah's card and just take little tiny steps. You just, you know, some of the good exercises is when it comes to like intuition is if you are learning to trust your intuition and you have 2 shirts, which one should you wear? Ask your intuition and have it pick a shirt for you, and then wear that shirt, because that's low hanging fruit. There's no, you know, there's not, it's like no $50,000 investment. However, when you get to know your intuition, how it speaks to you, when you have a certain thing that comes like another $50,000 investment, boom, you're going to know, oh, I already know this intuitive voice. I know to move forward, or I know to, you know, go another way, because you've already listened to its language.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And one of the things, I love that you brought that up. One of the things that I talk with my clients about is how to discern between fear and intuition. And we do what sounds very similar to I just got a notification saying we're close to our end here, which is close to your truth journal, I would assume, where I have clients identify or decode their fear versus intuition. So they're looking in their body for signs and ways that their intuition shows up, and journaling, like, okay, I got an intuitive hit, or what I thought was an intuitive hit. This is where it showed up in my body. This is what it felt like. And then the result, was it actually intuition? Was it fear? And then you start to decode, that leaning forward feeling. Well, for me personally, that's definitely intuition saying go for it. That gnarly feeling in my gut is a no-go. That's fear. But I have a similar feeling in my chest, and it's a positive hit from intuition. So everybody's different. And when you start to journal and really take some time to journal these areas and times that you've experienced, you can start to decode fear versus intuition, and that really helps. But I love how you said, listen to your intuition, because when we don't, it's almost like we're broadcasting a mixed message. Like, we want our intuition and we want to hear messages, but we're not going to listen to them. And that kind of, I think, shifts the frequency.
Well, I also think fear always leads with fear. Whereas intuition, if it's like an ego fear, you always know it's like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Where intuition is not going to come from a fear-based place.
Right.
So you kind of dig below that. Like, okay, is this really, you tease it out. Is this really my ego talking? Or is this my intuition saying, go slowly?
Right. Right. Nice. Did everyone get a card pulled who wanted one? Because I would love one at the end. Anyone else?
All right, Janine.
All right, I'm going.
Okay. What does life want you to know right now? So this is fuck. Shit is about to get real. You need your people around you. So what does that mean for you? Because I'm not going to read your own card. When you
Oh my God. No, I want to hear it. Yeah, that's very, very relevant right now. Very relevant.
So it's not just real, it's like real, really
Right.
real.
Right.
And so this is, make sure it's not saying that you're not going to get through it. It's not saying that it's negative, actually. It's just real. It's authentic. It's what you've asked for. It's what you is appropriate for your next step. And the way to get through that deep movement, according to this card, is to have your trusted people with you so that you're not isolated. Usually this card comes up whenever you've been isolated for too long.
Yeah. Well, also
before you start to move forward. What were you going to say?
Oh, I just said also relevant. So this 2019 was a year of massive change and growth for me. It was when I really started the year in January, sat down and wrote my book. It was a year that opened up some really deep truths for me. I saw my life and my direction and where I wanted to go and how I wanted to help people in such a totally different light. It was painful and it was beautiful all at the same time. And it was definitely like coming out of this cave of fear and really figuring out, if I'm going to continue to help other people the way I want to do this, and I want to live my life the way I want to live, I need to get fucking real. And so, yeah, it was, that card has not only described what I've been experiencing in the last year plus, but also where I'm headed. And it's the same response I get when I meditate. One of the things that I make sure to do several times a week during meditation is ask myself, what is it that I need to know, see, hear, or feel right now? And I have consistently gotten hits that there are 3 people I need to be pulling into my team to be working and moving towards, to be creating some more stuff. And I just have some, on the business side, I have some really exciting plans that I'm working on, and that makes sense. And on my personal side, just supporting my pretty big life changes I've had over the years. So yeah, that's pretty perfect. I know that Remy just said she wanted a card pull too.
All right. So Remy, what does life want you to know right now? So the card that got pulled out was detox. So drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. So this is actually a great time to have this card because we're at home, we can throw things out. Also, it's a detox for the mind. So please be very careful what you allow into your space, the people you on social media, or your close people that might have influence on you. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say, no, this doesn't work for me, and I need to detox from that particular person at this particular time. Doesn't mean forever, but this card allows you to say, no, I need to make sure that everything that enters right now is clean. The other thing is too, like, just kind of do like a little autopsy on yourself for different behaviors that you want to detox from. So it's detoxing from out things, you know, outward influences, but also inside. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to go on a cleanse. It could mean, you know what, I've had a lot of negative self-talk, or, you know, I am, you know, I continue to like beat myself up or over something. And this card is saying, you know, get rid of that shit, detox from that. So I hope that makes sense for you. So, anyone else, or anyone else have any other questions about anything we talked about?
Yeah,
I like the short and sweet.
I know, it's been enlightening. Hey, so where can people find your deck?
So I'm on Amazon. Sorry, husband. No. I'm on Amazon. I have my 3 decks on Amazon. I'm also on rebeldeck.com. On Instagram, I have a lot of fun on Instagram there, and I'm on Facebook. And yeah, I have a lot of fun doing, you know, just doing whatever I can whenever I'm not with my 3 kids right now, crisis schooling. So, and right now too, if you go to rebeldeck.com, I have 2 digital products that I'm having for free during this whole COVID thing. And it's called Rebel Pages. It's like a hybrid journal that has some, you know, different guided prompts to set up your day. It has places to record your card pulls. It has just places to write letters. You need to write letters to. So it's kind of like everything in like a digital download. You can just kind of print whatever you want at that time. And then also I joined with an art therapist who created coloring pages, and some of the messages are on there, you know, like I'm fucking amazing, and you know, you can color that. So those are for free right now if you want to go download those too.
Nice, awesome. Well, very good, unless anyone else has any questions.
Not a question, but a
I-
comment.
A comment, go for it. And then
The book, it's not Sarah Gilbert, it's Elizabeth Gilbert, because I've already hopped on Amazon Winter Cards and the book.
Oh, thank you. I love, and you know, I also love to put that on Audible too, to listen to Elizabeth Gilbert if you like that, because you know, sometimes when you're driving, that's whenever stuff happens too. So that book has kind of been, anytime I move into fear when it comes to my like a creative life or a business decision, I always go to that book because, you know, it just puts everything into perspective.
Can't wait to check it out.
Jenny.
I have a quick question. So, and I'm sure it's explained on your website, and I will go on and take a look, but how do you use the cards yourself? So obviously you pulled the cards and you kind of gave us your interpretation of it. If we're using them ourselves, how do we use them, I guess, if you can say it quickly.
You know, it's even easier than me reading for, it's actually designed for you to read to yourself, although a lot of readers use it for other people. Basically, you just, you know, pick up the deck, and there's a circle side, and then there's like this white side. So if you're going to shuffle them, you know, I kind of like to have the circle side facing toward me. So you just pick it up and you're like, okay, what does life want me to know right now? You don't want to look at it, and you can either do like 1, 2, 3 pull, or wait for something to pop out. And then this message is, you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside you, listen to that shit. So I would just take that and be like, okay, I have an internal voice. I'm really not listening to it. I should. And whatever that makes you feel. And then that's it. Like, it's very simple, cool. And, you know, super easy. They're designed for everyone. You don't have to be any type of anything. People use these in prisons. They use them with teens. They use them in, you know, counseling sessions. They use them in like sex workers, like everyone. I've gotten so many different emails from people who use them in different settings because they're so like easy to use and practical, and you just pick a card, and if it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, you just put it down and, you know, just go about your day.
Cool, thank you.
And Shannon, part of that answer, you know, and I think it was a great question. I would love to remind people to trust their intuition, trust their gut. This is all about tapping in to what you already know. So the information is there, the answers are there. What's the first hit that you get? What's the first feeling that you get? And lean in and go with that. That's your higher self talking, your subconscious talking. That's your guides and angels nudging you from different angles, right? So listen to yourself and what comes up first. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that people, I get this question all the time. It's like, well, how do I know what that I'm hearing? Like, I want to, I get a range of, I want to talk to this person that crossed over, or I just want to know my intuitive voice. And all really you can do is just practice and move forward with it. That's really the only, if you wait and try to figure it all out, it's just not, you'll always think of a reason. Your mind will always sabotage you and think of a reason to not do it. No, I don't know if that's my angels, and I don't know if it's this, it's that. Well, okay, that's great and all, but check in and really trust that, and just take that little step, and then everything kind of just opens up after that.
Okay. Shannon, thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for being here live, and for everyone who hears the replay that was half recorded. Love you so much. I appreciate you all. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.